Green beans, green beans, green beans, green beans, green beans, green beans. Green beans are a staple of American culture and cuisine. They are used in many great dishes, including green beans and bacon and green bean casserole. Farmers have grown green beans for ages, so they are evidently a valued part of our culture. I'd bet you one whole green bean plant that everybody in this room has either eaten a green bean or been a green bean. Green beans are grown throughout the entire United States. This map here has redrawn the states so that each state that grows the most green beans are drawn the largest. As you can see, Wisconsin has been drawn the most large, which means it produces the most amount of green beans. But, like I said, green beans are farmed throughout the entire U.S. But there is bad news. Even the most beloved veggies have their enemies. Our precious green bean has a killer on the loose, the Ceratoma trifurcata, or the bean leaf beetle. The bean leaf beetle is an enemy of all bean leaves, including the green bean. Here's a little biography of this killer for you. The bean leaf beetle is most prominent in the Midwest and the eastern U.S., which, as you know from our map, are some of the most farmed green bean areas. Why is this beetle so bad, you ask? Well, its secret weapon is hunger. This pesky beetle has been caught munching on the precious leaves of our beloved beans. As a result, the green bean cannot grow properly due to the lost nutrients and failing beetle hole-ridden leaves. Every year, varying by location, 1, 2, and sometimes even 3 generations of this killer beetle are produced. These beetles are costly, as it means farmers must regrow their green bean crop and thus lose money on the green beans that were ravished by the bean leaf beetle. But on the bright side, there is something that can bring this killer beetle down. Peppermint. Bean leaf beetles hate peppermint. Peppermint leaves secrete peppermint oil, which acts as a natural repellent for the bean leaf beetles. If peppermint is around, the bean leaf beetle will be gone. So, evidently, by adding some element of peppermint to our green beans, we can rid the green leaf beetle and protect our precious plant. We must genetically modify the green bean so that its leaves secrete peppermint oil. The gene that codes for peppermint oil secretion can be extracted from the peppermint plant, or Mentha piperita. This is the best option, as genetic engineering allows us to solve problems quickly by specifically isolating the desired peppermint oil secreting trait. But how exactly do we do this? GMO specialist Abby number 2 in today to inform us. Thank you, Abby number 1. To genetically modify green beans, we must first isolate the peppermint, as this is the plant from which we are taking the foreign gene. So, we have to determine the gene map for peppermints and identify the specific gene that secretes the oil on the peppermint leaves. Then, we extract the oil-secreting gene from the peppermint. We will be using a bacterial vector to transfer the peppermint's gene into the green bean's genes and DNA. There's a little background on bacterial vectors. So, bacteria is simple, so it's often used as a tool to insert DNA from one organism into the DNA of another organism. Bacteria has plasmids, which are small rings of DNA. By using restriction enzymes, you can cut open these plasmids. Our green beans, we will be using a restriction enzyme to cut open the bacteria plasmid. Then we will insert the peppermint's oil-secreting gene into the bacteria's plasmid. We will shock the bacteria with heat or electricity so it accepts the foreign peppermint DNA. This works because it affects the charge in the DNA, which makes it move. Then, the new modified bacteria plasmid, which now has the peppermint gene, will insert itself into the green bean's DNA. The peppermint oil secreting gene is now a part of the green bean's DNA. The green bean is now transgenic, meaning that its genes have been modified to have DNA from itself and another organism. Now, we must replicate the genetically modified green bean so that the change reproduces among a population of green beans. Then we can mass produce the improved, genetically modified green beans. Each green bean plant will have new genes which will code for the leaves in such a way that the leaves will now secrete peppermint oil. And now the beetles will not want to munch on our precious green bean leaves. Wow, thank you, Abby number 2. That is truly inspiring. Our green bean plants will now be thriving. As we can see here from these pictures, wow, thank you, Abby number 2. That is truly inspiring. Our green bean plants will now be thriving. As we can see here from some pictures of some genetically modified green beans that have undergone our peppermint genetic modification, they will have full, wholesome leaves. See, there's no beetles that have munched on the green bean leaves. This is awesome because we Americans can continue enjoying our tasty staple